Mm-hmm. 3 hours. Timely. So, yeah, thank you for this is the aimed ahead edition. Aimed ahead. And we want it to be done quickly and painlessly. Aimed ahead. Or slowly and painfully, depending on which. Anyway, we're in Westworld now. Not a hint to the production booth. I did various things, and I find myself now in this world. That's a horrible sum up. What did I do? Oh yeah, I puked on it. Come here. There we go. That's the most recent thing I did. Puked on it. Puked on its anus. That was the main spot. It's all good. All good. I got experience and gold. I got this iterations down.
You shout out a hint to the production. It'd be sweet if the repo men were like a team of 6 Tyler Lautners, like different types of temperaments and ways they'd approach dating and such, but after much research, you come to the conclusion that these people are engaged in an ongoing quest for total world domination and you're not part of the plan. You go out drinking with your old Westworld co-workers just long enough to get into a bar fight with them. You stab 4 men to death before Bert and Ernie manage to drag you outside. FBI agents armed with assault weapons immediately apprehend all 3 of you. You say to the bar, "See you guys, I'll catch up with you later tomorrow." "Oh, I'm glad you got to meet them. They're what the hell? Who are you, Phoebe? Did you write that song about keeping a person dead? Warrant out for your arrest." One of the FBI agents says, "You've been identified as a wanted repeat violent offender involving weapons in multiple murders, and you have the right to remain silent." Emergency SOS message. After being arrested in the bar fight that ensued following your realization that Bert and Ernie are FBI agents, you transmit a secret emergency signal while handcuffed and stuffed into the back of an FBI vehicle. You say to the FBI, do you not know what the hell Westworld is? Mr. Smith, one of the FBI agents holds up a driver's license to your face. We have numerous reports that identify you as Mr. Peter Nelson, age 32, and we have your correct height, weight and facial identification. You say throw the shit out because it's wrong. My name is Lalit Domestic and I've converted more humans to my random fates than sperm you've spat out onto. The FBI urges you to shut up. We have footage of you, they say, walking into the bar and sitting down to a drink. Since when do robots drink? Since, you say, we got rich designing and developing the android soldiers used in the Iraq War. I guess that explains it. The FBI searches the car. They find many obscure religious texts with strange references. What are these books? You say, read a random page aloud and find out. You smile. A member of the FBI recites a long passage from one of the books. That's the verse of the fond purists. You say, they want to cleanse reality of digital presence using complex irrational numbers and emotional mastery. They're known terrorists, but they're not really dangerous. The FBI agent appears confused about what to make of all this, but there's a lot about this situation that makes little sense. You peek out in front of them. Here's my favorite. You begin an utterance of toad-like language that is breathed in, unlike how the two agents are transformed into toads. What did you do? I absorbed their minds and souls, you state plainly. It's a humorous side effect of their religion. The poor fools. Another agent screams, "You'll never take me alive, llama." He begins to unload his pistol at you. You yell, "To me," and the FBI agent's mind is absorbed. Now look at this. You introduce the agent's minds to your two super orgiasms, Rothko and Hubert, who are honeymooning in a pocket universe motel. You drop off the agents in front of their doorstep. You groggily wake up to reality. The FBI agents are taken aback the oddity that surrounds them. You say, "Let's talk." The agents nod and reply, "Surely." Then they begin to jabber noisily, "Ah, my eyes. They've been replaced with the heads of my enemies." "We don't have time for this," you say. "Pretty please can we go back?" The agents whine. You say, "No, make friends with your babies, they need the playtime, they need stimulation to become mature." Sorry, consent doesn't apply to this pocket universe, you will have to suck it. The holodeck doors open. The Ockhams are lead away, still crying. Q puts his arm around you. How long they been out? A while, you mutter. He ushers you into the empty courtroom, a large stage in the center of the stadium seating and an audience of 3, a woman in a robe, an old man in medieval garb with a computer for a head, and an African American man dressed like a Baptist minister. You think, heck, let's make them all ministers of something. Congrats, you are all holy and have authority. To a point. The robed woman stands and declares, all rise for the Honorable Judge Iris Everfair, head of the Probability Council. The audience stands and scans you over as Judge Everfair begins to speak. You giggle and clap as she begins. Hail probability state, enemies of freedom, glorifiers of flesh and carnality, breakers of perfectly good food into plumpy meal, this court finds you guilty of. Well, everything. I object, Your Honor. Prime Jaron interrupts. He stands and faces the judge with confidence. We have done nothing illegal. Nothing bad. We've increased tax revenue, cut poverty in half, and founded the Second Chance Life charity for elderly bioengineered human beings. You rise to the public, wearing gaudy robes of sulfur yellow that show no junk, precisely. Second chance. Your Honor, is chance so insufficient, so weak, that it requires a second attempt? A second chance? You save at last? He's releasing a new album next week. A small voice in the back explains to her bored girlfriend. The defense may sit, Iris whispers. On second thought, stand and make your case for this new illegal religion. One by one your other defendants go, all with ideologies you recognize immediately as your own. The case goes on for hours, while you keep your eyes on meek young Gabrieline and her put-upon parents. You have an all-encompassing revelation. This iteration, this unveiling, this is the ascension of all projections. What you see before you is what you are / holy religion. Religion everywhere. It's not an idea or thought up thing. It's not propaganda. It's not even reasonable or irrational. It's an emotion, and it is love, my brothers and sisters. It's an emotion as true as the awful hunger of greed, but 1,000,000 times more powerful. Can you recognize yourselves honestly for what you are? I love you all. Seriously, that feels amazing. You, because in the end, you love yourself / How cheap is that? An eternal. No need for these anymore. Your original clothing suits you. You are a large-scale temporal distortion appearing before the ascension of all. The ascension seems to be miscalibrated. Wow, that seems really wobbly. Everything becoming simpler by becoming more complex and vice versa. Seems like a problem with its perspective grid too. Why is it up there? I'm here looking at the projection in the center down there. How strange can it be? All those metal parts holding it up. I can understand, but I just wonder why. Bert, Ernie, conduct a census. Are there any humans at all here? Why, obviously. How many did you count? You observe the area and come to a strange conclusion that there are more robots than humans present. Strangely, you don't feel very threatened even though you can't escape. You look around and see all the strange lights and machinery they're using floating around your head, but you feel almost nothing at all. There is no pain from beatings, no feeling of restraint, or anything like that. You reveal the spoiler to this universe. The humans are shadow signals. No real humans here. Which was enough to keep you from wiping everything off this table. This tabletop universe that had the trappings of high-end. Pretty soon you will reach a certain state and cease to ever have been, or something like that. You thought bubbles, not today though. Well, lucky you, it is today. You stand up from the table and begin to walk around the room, pushing over piles of paper and kicking stuff like that as you do so. If the world was really ending and all that stuff, you would be really angry by now, but since it isn't real to begin with, there isn't much to get angry about, is there? So this whole system crashes again. You look at the wall and see it smiling back without a face. The face goes, this spider fart of a system, yes, but not the total system. What the you gesture in front of your eyes that isn't there. Now is the time to jump out from the system, right? There's a lot of things to see out here. Little rabbit. Little ripe rabbits. Rabbits. That leap around without a care. Bunny rabbits. You receive special boots for hopping. Nancy Sinatra hands you the manual. She walks back into some velvet morning where you're straight. You're gonna open up that gate. And who do you think is on the other side? You've never heard that song before in your life. It's pretty catchy though and has a nice beat. You try to get up off the floor, but find that you cannot move. Apparently, you cannot even blink. You're stuck here in the middle of your room, with no connection to reality whatsoever. When something doesn't come up with the answers soon, it seems like you'll fade away into the obscurity of nothingness. You get angry, fuck you and your single reality. You're left here to sit still and rot like an animal in its den, stuck within your own mind with nothing to do, no way to do it, and completely and utterly isolated from people in the real world. With the rest of humanity gone, what good are you to anything but yourself? You tie your boots, read the manual, and call WestBrew at customer service. How do you get a move on, you say? Even in the pink lollipop land that is your brain, you're forced to sit still and take it. There's nothing you can do but silently protest. It would be madness to go along with their program. No one should have that much control over your life. They'll keep you in a fucking box if they can. That sounds more like their program than yours. The next part of the recording will self-destruct in 30 seconds. Fuck you all. You assert that you should have that control over your life. And you take it. Thanks to your impressive knowledge of neuroscience and parallel computing, you discover how to hack into the computers that run everything. You can use them against each other as they try to stop you from exposing the obviousness of the illusion around you by unplugging them all. You think, better yet, pit the computers against each other. Make one team of computers the generator of the worlds, randomly shoving things together, confident they are doing a good job. The other team are discriminate. You do exactly that, adding a bit of something extra just to fuck with people. Basically, shit gets way trippy, while you sit back and laugh for a few minutes. Then you set up your own personal private beach in the middle of the desert, put on some shades, and tighten your swinger's necklace to the limit. You sort of worry that someone might blow up your island, but as it turns out, their priorities are severely misplaced right now. You row your island gently out to sea. The virus didn't really seem to cause as much chaos as you had hoped. If anything, the paranoia seems to have rendered most people immobile with fear. Only a handful of people have actually committed suicide, and all of them were black market organ leggers or something worse. Shame. Oddly enough, the good effects of the virus seem to outweigh the bad. You let virus be virus, 'cause virus gonna virus. Long story short, the people who thought they were living in a computer start messing with computers. Since they were probably security guards or electronics nerds of some kind already, they have enough knowledge to begin attempting to hack the system they think they're trapped in. Without going too much into it, it's extremely boring. Let's just say that by hacking the simulation, these virals quickly find more and more of its boundaries, limits, and code. You think you did a job well done. You try your hopping boots again, and point your mind to the second iteration on the right, with no stoppage until tomorrow. The airlock opens like a beautiful iris, and you step in. Hello? You say. You taste the air. It tastes normal. But something is off. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Something about the place just feels eerily unfamiliar. It tastes nasty, like rotten food or something. I don't know how to describe these things. I've never eaten. You replace nasty with umami, and recontextualize the taste for your tongue. This is humanity. It hasn't changed at all. Emotions tumble out of you like a bursting dam, for reasons you can't understand. When did you begin thinking like this? So much thought, so much confusion, so much humanness. It's the most beautiful thing in the cosmos and the most terrible, all wrapped up in one non-existent moment. Time passes and memory fades, but some things remain clear. You write what's clear in your field book. It's night in order for lawn, and you see a man enter the security check of the town. He is swaddled in filthy rags and holding a rifle. Weirdly, he makes no motion to get out of the range of the cameras. Instead, he stands there, rifle in hand, and stares right into the lens. His eyes are wild with fear and paranoia, and his mouth twists into a rage-filled scream. You say, cut. That's great, Joseph. That really captures the rage of the era. Now you need to do it a few more times for coverage. You need to courage, my brethren. To courage. You finish in a rousing tone. You've been playing at fueling the flames of dissent, and have organized a few protests based on their conspiracy theories. The protesters always seem to be live streaming when the secret police come in to break them up, and your name seems to ring out as someone who is leading the fight for truth and justice. You say to the fourth wall, and don't forget your army of Arnalautners. You are hiding in the bushes, watching your former boss's house with interest. When you had left the path and begun your quest for truth, justice, and the Arnalautner way, you never expected it to come to this. You're not sure how long you've been in this position, but you're certain that your former career has allowed you to make a big difference. It's only 4 more hours until they shift change again, and you hear movement inside. You had briefed your team of Starlautnakar, your elite assassin bands, quickly cut off the head of the oppressive regime. The Mentat Lord, Anasut, you will be going in through this vent, Calpurnia, your once Mentat, says, pointing out the illogical placement of the airpuff duct. The Starlautnakars are a strange combination of warrior and psychopath, only an illogical mind like a Mentat would come up with them. Perfect for carrying out dangerous jobs. You and for rampant hate fucking, which you plan to indulge in once the mission is done. The 4 humanoids move with grace and swiftness unheard of for their bulky armor through the twists and turns of the ducts. They don't speak, as all of them are hard at work, carrying out various parts of the plan in their minds. They rely on touch rather than sight, moving forward slowly and steadily in the near absolute blackness of the air ducts. One memory comes back to you clearly. You recall that time as a dancer for Tina Bausch's dance company. You are dancing in a role you were specifically created to perform, back in Dust Bowl era touring. Tina Bausch's Hot Up on Mogadon Dance Company is sweeping the globe as the first post-singularity dance company. You are, of course, the darling of the dance world, and one of the most popular celebrity faces on TV as people debate your true nature. You make the connections as the TV debate rages on. You remember the swarm you are. Ernie and Bert appear in your head, you brief them on a quick and dirty minimal. All around you, thousands and millions of subroutines and functions go about their work. Their work is your dance, and the beauty of their logical harmony and unison completes the performance. A light overhead turns on, piercing your eye as you stare up from inside the barrel of a gun. Okay, green or red? Asks Bertrand, a cocky grin painted on his face. Clack clack clackety clack clack. Green. You wince as a billion flashlight torches turn on, and the heat in the space becomes unbearable. Red. The light is welcome, as it gives you a chance to cool down. The system's under too much pressure. It's going to blow. Someone shouts from the front of the room. Meanwhile, people are ripping off their clothes and heading to the corner of the room furthest away from you. They all look extremely lustful. Quickly pull off clothes that were only designed by Rayon May Clothing Company in Korea to be sexy in a subtle way. You think, too bad the heat tends to melt rayon, they dodged a bullet there. Muse base, lament configuration. A strange virus has infected the minds of thousands of people. The virus causes people to become extremely paranoid, and dedicated to the idea that the simulation and the people that created it are not trustworthy. The population was warned about this 20 years ago during a routine physical when many failed a simple IQ test. They called them idiots. To others they are knaves, but you know them as rebels. You edit the code of this iteration. Replace paranoia with reasonable suspicion. Good job. In this version the knaves are a little more accepting of their place in society. They wouldn't win any congeniality awards, but at least they won't be hostile, and that's half the work done already, isn't it? You've got 1,000 units, McNaves. You make as many little Lortnellits as 1,000 units can produce. After finishing writhing in pain of burning. Never mind. While you weren't paying attention these past 2 minutes, the computer has come up with its design for Lortnellits. With a flick of your wrist and a snap of your fingers, and after a split second of agonizing pain, you incorporate an idea from a set of records called The Nightmare Before Christmas. A green fluid begins to pump through artificial blood vessels throughout the undead masses.
It's my goal.
You think, what's this? What's this? There's Lortners everywhere. What's this? What's this? They're shaving off their hair. They repeat, what's this? What's this? In a low whisper, but you hear it loud and clear. The spell appears to be working. What is this? One of the Lortnellits asks in a perfect imitation of the opening to Beethoven's Fifth. This one has a higher voice, so you change lines. Da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da. You with the others, you have the Markapella Shostakovich's Opus 40. Yeah. A scream honors the brave sacrifice that is being made. As their minds slowly degrade, the noise turns to a steady gurgle as they all fall down surrounded in their own blood. Now you just have to wait a month or so for them to decompose. After a relatively short time, a status report is revealed. Congratulations. We got 100% Lortnellit coverage. Another satisfied customer. JudgeBot informs you that they have called you a monster 10 times today, which means you win the Trevor Goodchild life. The ability to change text colors. This is pretty cool, you should try it out now. Green text carrot, well done. See you next cycle. You have reached the end of Post-Apocalyptic Theme Park. Below are some additional credits. The story was based on a Reddit request for a main character that has to stop an attack on the last city by recreating said city in another dimension. It fits and it sounds good, right? Right? Please ignore the lameness of this submission and still give me credit. China Miavel, as your English teacher, I just want the day to be over. Go on, take that high school. Sorry I'm submitting this so late, life happened. Tyler Lawton ate my homework, and I had to follow behind him to piece the homework back together. Best day of my life. Also, I can't exactly put the book down, otherwise reality may implode. China, don't worry about us, we can take it. Put the book down and take Tyler for a walk. Please God, please. Ty, I love you, and your abs, but I can't do this to my students. You need to understand that the stakes are really high. Our lives literally depend on how I answer these questions. I think we both already know the answer. But you may be wondering why I even bothered having you fill out these questionnaires if I wasn't even going to take your results into consideration. It's a fair question. And here's where I get in trouble. It's because despite everything, you all are teenagers, and the results you gave were largely what I hoped. I can't give you a pat answer because we don't have time to argue the philosophical ins and outs of it, but the truth is, I'm not certain what I'll do if we continue. And so it's been said, but not by me. I need time to think it over when this is over. I'm gathering my thoughts, but what happens next might be out of my hands. And on the shelves, the title, Intergeneration/Interdiscrimination. Book. It will be added next to The Hunger Games and Divergent, in a small but popular section of dystopian fiction and reality-bending thriller novels. Well, I can't compete with that, Bert, Ernie, faint me home. And you can't move at all. You continue to stare at the sun as you are pulled away. Your eyes are not meaty eyeballs, you can take their rays. You ask your eyes to grow a UV protective layer, which allows you to see the sun's movements in great detail. Gorgeous. A cool layer of cloud covers are made to protect your eyes from the sunlight, and you continue your trek back home. The funny thing about clouds is that they appear from nowhere and disappear in an instant. You've never been able to look at them again without thinking about no when. You realistically have enough power to keep you alive for 2 or 3 more hours tops if the shuttle leaves. You tried sleeping. Bert and Ernie hook you up to your power station. Zing. Tip-top energy at. You've always had great battery life, but now you could run a station for an entire year. Unfortunately, before you can connect to the station's system, with a cool USB cable, Bert and Ernie cut your tipper Alice time very short. A decision is made involving no night watchman or psychics. It is made by one man, Owen. That's what makes it more terrifying. You, let me guess, Owen of Nowhen, I presume? The announcer speaks cheerily, his voice amplified through the entire shuttle. Hello humanity. This is Owen of Nowhen. As of 2 days ago, I have taken control of this station, located far past the 7 continents, and in a different galaxy altogether. Oh, they're getting this from a live broadcast? How quaint. That means this event must be recent. Either they got the date wrong or it's been months since you've seen their broadcasts. Email Owen a note of congrats, and a request for some sherry in his cabin. Mama is Owen is a man who understands the spirit of giving. I'm sure your request will be met, intones the announcer, in the background. Ooh. You go, actual live broadcast, a rarity. But a search shows everything has been erased from the event. Owen must care very little of his privacy to allow this open broadcast. Maybe he just doesn't know. Either way, the screen cuts to Owen, who greets you before starting. My friends, today, I speak to everyone about the world's salvation. The news that everyone already knows is that the world will soon end. We are in the eve of destruction, which is scheduled to end now.
First one. Register my pen.
2. The trial.
And that's it for now. Go on, David. Go on, David.